rebounds. Oh, by the way, KD dropped 42 after the game. James said, quote, "It was easy out there." Harden responsible for 63 points against the Magic when you look into, between third most all-time for a debut in NBA history behind his Rockets debut 2012, Kyrie's Nets debut last season. Kyrie, of course, sat out Saturday's game, and just reported by Woj, Kyrie is also going to miss tonight's game against the Bucks on TNT as he works his way back into playing shape after missing what will now be 7 games due to personal reasons. Robert, James said it was easy. How easy do you expect it to be for the Nets moving forward?
This is one of these projects that you have to wait and see, because when you come to a team for the first time, you're excited.
Yeah.
So you have all this energy, you have all this emotion. And you want to see how this is going to work out in 10 more games. Will you have that same energy and that same emotion? And will your teammates feel the same about you? Because we know James has a tendency to hold the ball and dribble. But when he's doing that and you're losing, how are your teammates going to react? Because right now, this is the honeymoon.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah, everyone's happy. And we want to see how this wedding, this match can be, 20 games in, 10 games in, because that's when the true team is going to emerge. Because right now, like I said, this is the honeymoon. Everybody's happy during the honeymoon.
Well, I think we're not going to see this team lose too much. It's just too much talent. There's too much shooting on the floor. I think you're going to see this team play very well, very fast, and you can see the transition was pretty seamless. Why is that? Mike D'Antoni, maybe?
Yes.
But see, look at this. James Harden making plays off the pick and roll. KD's such a big target. He can hit him out there, get him easy shots. These are cake shots for KD. He don't even have to work for these right here because James Harden draws so much attention. But this is the play. James Harden recognizes immediately that KD has the mismatch. KG swings it to Brown, who is the other. And if they keep making plays like this, that's when they're going to be dangerous. When they don't care who the next guy is and they trust that next guy, they trust the pass. With that much talent, it's going to be very hard to deal with them.
And by the way, that could be Kyrie in the corner next time, eventually, right? I mean, that's the idea. So swing to Kyrie. So you've got a little bit of
Or just switch them all around.
Right.
I mean, it's just going to be like whoever has the matchup, that guy's going to have the ball and he's going to create. And as long as he keeps trusting his guys, good things are going to happen for this team.
Yeah, and we see teams that cruise through a regular season and then at the playoffs it gets harder. What do you think they...
He knows.
I'm being diplomatic. It's a holiday. What do you think, Robert, what is sort of the thing that they have to work on throughout the regular season? Because Fizz is right. There's going to be a lot of nights it's just kind of easy and one ball out there. And so what do they need to work on and sharpen so when they get to those tougher tests in the playoffs, they can be up for them?
It's going to boil down to teamwork.
Yeah.
And it sounds simple, but it is, because Kyrie is a ball handler, and how he's going to react with James handling the ball. And I think KD is the one who's going to sit back, because I think he can realize, hey, I don't have to use that much energy handling the rock. I can come off screens and shoot the ball, but we always talk about the offensive end, but we also have to know they got to play defense, and they lost their 3 best defensive players. So it's really going to be interesting how they can mix that all together on both ends.
Yeah, absolutely. Because these guys are all capable of playing good team defense. KD especially, Kyrie has done it. James has even done it. I know his reputation, but he's done it if he wants
he
to.
Said, I live in Houston.
He just hasn't bought into it that often. Yeah, I'm deferring to the guy with the 7 rings. I want to get to Karis LeVert.
Now I'm looking forward to Jordan.
What a perfect tone setter for today. Now, the Timberwolves and Hawks tipped off a few minutes ago, special MLK Day game. The Hawks sporting their amazing uniforms, MLK themed, and we're going to take you behind the scenes of the Hawks' effort to pay homage to Martin Luther King later in this show, so stick around for that. Robert Horry, what did it mean to you to play a Martin?
Our guys understand that, and I think it's very powerful.
It is really remarkable. I love that evolution from when there was no MLK Day to now how we see things. Welcome to The Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols. I'm alongside, indeed, NBA coach, our head coach, David Fizdale, and 7-time NBA champion, Robert Ori. Coming up, guys.
Big shot.
Woo! Coming up, James Harden posting a triple-double in his Nets debut over the weekend. He said, "It was easy out there." Must be nice. Robert's going to tell us why it may be just a little too soon to just crown flat out the Nets. Stick around for that. First, though, I do want to circle back to the legacy of civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., assassinated, of course, April 4th, 1968, outside of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. And Coach, I do want to ask you more about this. While you were coach of the Grizzlies, you made a point of, with your team, touring the National Civil Rights Museum, which is built around the Lorraine Motel.
Yeah.
What stood out to you the most when you were there?
Well, first off, it just moves you immediately understanding the significance of what happened in that moment and understanding what it did to our country, what it did to the black community, what it did for black and white relations in our country. And you feel it, the gravity of it as you pass through it. In that moment there, they let us stand in the spot where he was killed. And for me, I think what broke me down was, here I am, a black man. I'm the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. And I'm 2 generations removed from a sanitation worker from Mississippi who went through Jim Crow, my grandfather. And that is who Dr. King was there fighting for, was the sanitation workers. And for some reason, it overwhelmed me. It still overwhelms me now to think about just 2 generations later what we've accomplished, where we are now. And so the best way we can honor him is to pay that forward and continuing to serve and trying to change the world.
Yeah, for me, that, even though I haven't had a chance to tour that, just watching you in that moment, it gets emotional, especially being a black man from the South, because you see all the trials and tribulations that black people have to go through and what we have to overcome. And it's just so heart-wrenching and so heartfelt that people around the world are really now trying to see what is going on in this country. And I know right now everybody wants this to be full force and to happen now because that's the day and age we live in, but it's going to be baby steps. Just think about it. I just talked about not having MLK Day when I played. Now we have one. And hopefully by the time our grandchildren, our children's children have this moment, it is equality. And it's just a moment, we're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to work towards it, and we not just got to sit back and stay silent, because when you silence, things don't happen. So we still got to keep our voice and keep that message in front so we can move forward.
Absolutely.
And the celebration of Martin Luther King, of course, also a celebration of so many men and women who have made so much progress pushing this country forward in the battle for civil rights. Clearly still going on today. It's important to recognize just the breadth of the movement, that there were so many people who put their lives, their families on the line because they